Hey there, Necə. Hope you're doing well. I am working on your essay right now. I've been checking your essay. So let's discuss it together. This is mine and this is yours. Now I'm going to explain it to you in this one and by yours. So, as I expected that you have a couple mistakes since it's the first essay that you've ever written about diagrams. You have a couple mistakes, and I want to tell you those mistakes. I want to tell you to do's and not to do's, and then I want to show you, explain this diagram to you one by one, explaining you how you can use the pictures as a weapon towards your question. Well, first, you have written the question here. Please keep in mind that this is your exam paper. Okay, this is your exam paper. This is only for your answer. You shouldn't write the question here. So next time, don't write question here. Start with your answer. Write the question or anything. Just start with your answer, and make sure that your title for this essay is correct, because I downloaded 3 Word files and 3 of them says home energy production, while the rest of 2 are some different. They were fish pile production, but so please make sure that you have the title right essay. Also, at the end of your essay, try to write these 2 things: words, count words and write here, and set time. Before you start your essay, set your time and write. When you finish, stop the time. It may be less than expected, it may be more than expected. Stop the time and write that time limit here. Okay, so you missed this too. Let me do this. Okay, well, let's start with and I think you haven't completed your essay. I just saw the first. Oh, you completed your essay. Oh, so small. How many words are here? First, let's count down the words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 6, 7, 8, 30. 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 80. 1, 2, 3, 4. 84 words you have, which is quite less. 84 words are quite less. You have to write at least minimum of 150 words. And don't finish it until you have 150 words. Okay, so what you have to do in order to count your words while you're writing your essay, let's say you finished your introduction, then count it and write it next to it. When you finish your overall, and write it next to it. When you finish your first passage, count it and write it next to it. When you finish your second passage, count it and write next to it, and then calculate it and write down your essay. Okay, before we start explaining this one, I would like to tell you the reason that you have written very little words is because you haven't been able to use all the information shown to you in the picture. I told you that when I explained that lesson to you, I told you that there are many, almost everything you need in the picture. You just have to watch, understand the picture. Yeah. You just have to understand the picture. You just have to look at the picture and see all the details. Try to see all the details. Okay, let's just start it. I check your introduction. It wasn't bad. It was okay, but you have minor mistakes. You said the diagram explains the way a manufacturer will be practicable. You have minor mistakes here. What is your mistake? First of all, you said way. Don't use the article in front of the word way in your introduction. Always use, because this is not the only way generating electricity. There are many other ways. This is just a way, okay? Be careful about this. Time you use e article, not the article. A way, a means, okay? The diagram explains a way. You use about into production. In formal contents, use of instead of about, which are completely synonyms and they mean the same. Okay, if you are in need of writing about, then don't write about, write of. The diagram explains way of, not the way about. Okay. Here you have written manufacturer that will be practicable. So you have a noun here. It says, the question says, the diagram below shows a possible future means of home energy production. Okay, instead of production, you choose to write manufacture. Energy production, okay, energy manufacture doesn't sound that good, doesn't sound professional. This is called possessive case. Yani ha. If you remember, here I think I told you that. Instead of saying energy manufacture, use manufacturing the energy. If you remember when we talked about possessive case, I told you that how to use possessive case of nouns. So there are 4 ways. You can use, if your noun is a person, then or an animal, you can use s, like my cat's tail, pşiğimin kuyruğu, or my father's car. It's an animal and a person. You can use s, but for things you can use of. For example, also for animals you can also use of. For example, the leg of the table, the cable of the television. You can use these things. And the third way, if you remember, I told you that you can use 2 nouns together without using of or s, if that's possible in your own language. For example, you can say that you can say doorknob. I'm writing that word here. So doorknob sounds okay. So you don't need to use knob of the door. You can do it actually, but you don't need to say it, because you can say doorknob. It sounds logical even in your own language. But you can't say table leg. That doesn't sound meaningful. That doesn't sound logical. Here you have to say leg of the table. But if you can say 2 nouns together and it sounds to you logical, then don't use s or of as a possessive case. So here in this example, energy manufacture doesn't sound logical. That's why, since the manufacturer, you can say manufacture of energy, or you can say manufacturing energy, which is actually, this one is the way you say that, or manufacture of energy, you can say. Instead of saying energy manufacturing, you can say manufacture of energy or manufacturing the energy. right? And so here is a correction. As the diagram explains, a way of manufacturing energy that will be practicable. Okay, introduction. You cannot miss any word, especially it's the main idea. So here it says a possible future means of home energy production. So you miss the word home. You use home or the word home. So what I did to you, I did will be practicable for home use. Okay, this is not the energy for factories or for restaurants or for anything else. This is a manufacturing energy, a way of manufacturing energy for home use. Okay, so please do not miss anything from your production. Also, I'm going down to my essay. Okay. So here how I did it. So the diagram shows a process for producing electricity for home use. That's what I did. So what I did, for manufacturing energy, or I chose to write the word process, and here there's the word producing for electricity for home use. So as an overall, I did write this, but this is just the second introduction of my word. The equipment consists of a large tank, box, and pipes that will be able to fit into a garage-sized room. This is something extra, so you don't need to write this. Okay. All right. I hope you understand your introduction. So please do not miss. It's a way of using it, but make sure that you can. So read paraphrasing the object. Definitely learn that PDF article, and then use it in your writings. Okay. All right. And is the most important part. Yes. This is done. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Your overall. I have my overall here. You said after the word overall, you have to use comma. Don't forget to use that. Okay, you have to use comma after overall. I did write it 2 times. Okay, so overall, the process consists of 6 stages. Very nice. You are telling how many processes are there, and beginning with using. Okay, here you didn't use the word using. You said beginning of methane gas. So don't say that. It's if you say beginning with doing something or ing something, instead of saying methane gas, it doesn't begin with a methane gas. It begins with using methane gas. Okay? Or it begins with generating methane gas. Here, the process consists of 6 stages, beginning with using methane gas or generating methane gas. Writing here, generating methane. You generate energy. You don't create energy, you generate energy. Methane gas, and resulting in storing the energy. So ending up with energy storage is okay. You can use this. Just like here, it's better you use ing. Ending up with storing the energy. Okay. Ending up with storing the energy. Ending up with energy storage is also okay, but better way for that one, you can say storing the energy. Okay, and there must be a comma after the word overall. So far, introduction is good, overall is good. Make sure that you have this ing things. Okay, make sure that you are using correct way of object for your introduction. Please read the paraphrasing the object. Next time, don't make this mistake. Do not miss anything from your picture. When it comes to your passage, it's actually very small. The reason it is very small because you missed many things from the picture. You haven't used all the information shown in the picture. Now let's compare my essay with yours. Actually, I'm going to explain it to you using this essay here in the picture and compare it with yours. Let's see what it goes here. Yeah,
Now let's look at my module essay and your writing and try to understand this diagram, and let me explain it to you one by one what you should actually focus on the picture, and how you can connect your sentences and you can create your sentences using this valuable information in the picture. Well, let me use my headphone. So, as I told before, that you lack valuable information in your passage. Since your passage is very, very small, because you haven't, mentioned all the details in the picture. So, I don't know, you haven't been able to see him, or maybe you haven't been able to put them in your sentences. So please follow my lead and see how I did it. So, I explained all this to you. Now it's time for your. So you said, first of all, which is a great start. I like this start. Okay, I really like this start. The process. I've seen your connectors. First of all, after that, finally, it's really nice. Here, I was going to tell you to use more academic connectors. Okay. First of all, after that, finally is okay, but try to use a little more version of learn them. Okay, you have to learn them. So please use more academic ways of saying things. And yeah, so you said, first of all, process are collected to south to methane storage. And the thing that I didn't understand your sentence is not the process that is collected, how you can collect process. Okay, you can say the process begins with collecting something, but the process cannot be collected. So this sentence is not right. So another mistake you've made, you said process are collected. Process is a single word, a single noun, so you have to use is, not the process is collected. You said to gas out, to gas out. Where is gas out? So gas out is not a place. It's just the identification. It's just a point for you to show you that gas is flowing out through the pipe, through this pipe, to methane gas storage, and then passing to the compressor. It's okay. I mean, if you use not the word process here, I'm going to tell you what you should use here. The sentence might be acceptable. It may be an acceptable sentence. Let's examine this process in this way. Big thing that you missed in your essay is that P1, P2, and relative clause, along with the connectors, is the heart of this sort of tasks. Okay, P1, P2, and where is the time? The heart of this sort of task. So in IELTS, you have to use P1, P2, and relative clause in your passage in order to explain your opinion better. Because in the previous lessons, we've said that the best way to increase the words in your sentences, to boost your sentence, is using relative clause P1 and P2 separately. But you have none of this. Now let's look at this. I start with my sentence. First of all, I told you when I explained that video, I told you, look at the picture and discover all the useful information, analyze the picture, and then start writing. After you find out the processes, so first you find the process. Okay, you have 1, 2, 3 4, 5, 6 processes. All right, you count it down. And then you have to write your passages. I choose 2 passages here because I can see 2 pictures here. The first 3 processes is my first passage, first paragraph. The second 3 processes is my second paragraph. That's what I told you. Watch that picture, find out how many stages are there, and then divide it into passages. You may find 3 passages if the picture contains a lot more stages and a lot more information. So so I found that there are 6 passages, as you could see in your overall. You said there are 6 passages. Your overall is pretty good. Instead of using you haven't used this ing there, but it's pretty well. Well, found out how many passages are there. And then I divided my paragraphs. I'm going to write 2 paragraphs, so I have a clear vision of what I'm going to write after overall. So in the first paragraph, I'm going to write the first stage. In the second paragraph, I'm going to write to the second part of the picture. And after these 2 steps, now I am going to look at the picture and understand what is really going on in the picture. Okay, so let's look at the picture and try to understand. So you don't need this name. It says don't buy electricity, make it yourself at home. So which means that it's about the production of electricity. Okay, giving a close look at the picture, you can see a man here. Okay, and he has his tool for taking this thing and putting this thing inside. As you can see, this ash, this pile here means that this guy is throwing something inside this still tank. It's called still tank for something. So he is throwing something inside for some. What is this thing? And here we have complete description of what is this guy throwing inside. What this guy is throwing inside this still tank. I haven't seen any word about still tank or any word about compost and water. You haven't mentioned that. You do not mention any information given to you in the picture, which means that you are not able to express your thoughts. You're not able to convert the picture into sentences. So let's look at this. Here it says still tank. So I have a lot of useful information here to create at least 1 or 2 sentences. Still tank. Fourth, with compost. Means leaves, yani galık tullantı. Yani leaves, food, scraps, etc. Yarpaqlar, gidam, zibil, etc. and water. Compost. So I have definitely to show this in my sentence. I have to explain how, as you can see, ferments, these are compost ferments, methane gas is created here and up this pipe. Gas out means gas is going out. It's a gas out section. It's just a description for you. Okay. And then I try to find the arrow, as I said before, find the arrow in the diagram. So I'm finding the arrow, so I can see it goes up, it goes left through this pipe to this tank. And you can see it goes up again, and arrow shows that it's traveling through the pipe, going into the compressor. Okay, now I understood what is going on here. Gas is created here using this thing, going up here, filling the tank, and traveling through the pipe to the compressor. Let's look at my writing. So, passage that said, electricity is produced. Okay, I give you the I just answered the question. Electricity is produced. Or in the other diagram, a fish pile, you can say a fish piled up, use blah blah blah, and then using this way. So I'm giving the information right? So electricity is produced. It's a general start. You can start your diagram using this technique. You're writing what is going on picture right in the at the first passage, beginning of the first passage. So electricity is produced using methane gas. Electricity is produced using. I'm starting in the first page. Electricity is produced using. Oh, what is happening here? To tell it, I'm using. So as I said before, you can generate electricity. Okay, you cannot create electricity. You can generate electricity. Generated from a mix of filled with compass and water. I'm just saying mixed of. I'm doing a little bit of paraphrasing here. Compass and water. Karışımından yaranmış ifadeleri. Using methane gas. Electricity is produced using methane gas. Generated from a mix of compass and water in a large still tank. Large still tank. So I have all the information right now. Electricity is produced is my general answer. Using methane gas generated a mix of compass. Generated from a mix of compass. This is the paraphrasing of this one. In a large still tank. So this 3/4, I could say abundantly collected, which means most of it is collected with this, but you may not you may not say that. You cannot say that. I mean, you're allowed not to give a number information in your diagram, but you could say that you collected a large still tank, abundantly collected in a large still tank. Now I actually mention everything about the first stage. Used simple. I use P1. If you use P1, the rest of your sentence will automatically come because you know how to use P1. You're going to use using what, where, when, how. Okay, generated from, I have P2. Don't forget, generated from a mix of, or I could say which is generated from a mix of compass. But I told you before, instead of using relative clause, it is the better way to not use relative clause, but use P2 if it's possible. P2 is a passive form of relative clause. If your relative clause is in passive form, do not use relative clause, but use P2. Generated from a mix of compass and water in a large still tank. So I could say it's a large one. I could say in a still tank as well. It doesn't mean that you should say large still tank, but I just beautify my sentence using that. First stage is done. Let's go to the next stage. I can see now what I'm doing here. This man here. I'm using this man. I'm just creating my sentences using the picture. I'm just saying before I start what's going on inside. I'm saying tank, right? The tank is about the same height as a person and about twice as wide. Same height as a person. I can see it's the same height as a person, twice as wide. It's just another additional information that I could say in the picture in order to give clear description, illustration on the listener's mind, right? Now let's jump into the next stage. All right. So I haven't already finished it yet. Okay, this is how we said methane gas is created. Now I could see methane rises to the top of the tank and is collected, stored in a gas storage is collected, comes here and collected and stored in a gas storage system, or you just could say gas storage. As I could see here, it comes here, since it's a storage, which means that something comes inside and stores itself there. It's the storage, methane gas storage. So methane gas comes here, rise to the top, travels through the pipe, you could say, top of the tank, and is collected and stored in a gas storage system, right? And then I'm going to my next step. And you see after that combustion engine started out mechanical energy out to the generator in order to electrical energy out. Which stage is that? Now, as the passing to the information. So see how many information you missed here, Necə. So please understand and use all the specific information. You have everything in the picture. Just use P1, P2, and relative clause and connectors. Connect the sentences to each other. Write band aid answer. You can do that. Just a little bit of vocabulary you need here. Not too many because you already have the vocabulary in the picture, but use a little bit of academic vocabulary just to get band aid. You have to get band aid from the task 1, no other way. So, well, this stage is, I could see a compressor, I could see the gas coming out, traveling through the pipe. Compressor means that compressing something. So it is a machine that compresses something, to detach other additional things out of the material or the fuel, which means to compress it. So I'm going to the next stage. I'm using P2 again. I'm saying once compressed in a gas compressor. Once means when compressed, or once compressed in a compressor, short. You can see the gas coming again. You see the arrow, follow the arrow all the time. Method. Okay, I'm going to the second stage here. What is my second stage here? One second. You can see. So, stage is, okay, this place is called combustion engine. It's an engine, motor. It's a combustion engine. Okay, combustion means firing something, lighting up something, yandırma. Combustion engine. It's the combustion engine. Where is, I could see another information, where is mechanical energy is created. So mechanical energy here in this combustion engine, mechanical energy created. So I'm putting this into my sentence. Once compressed in a gas compressor, right, I just combined the third stage and the fourth stage together. Comma is a very nice thing in task 1 IELTS. Do not write short answers. You can write 2-3 stages in one answer. That's the better way. But just use, as you can see, 1 comma, use P1. Don't use sentences instead of P1. Don't use sentences instead of P2. If you write sentences, then you may have 3 sentences here. Sentence 1, dot, nokta, sentence 2, dot. Don't do that. Connect your sentences using comma, relative clause, P1, mostly P1 and P2. Do the same. Once compressed in a gas compressor, the methane fuels the combustion engine, which means comes into and burns it, right? And burns it and make it start. Fuels, that means fuels. Fuels the combustion engine, which, relative clause, in turn, as in that, produces mechanical energy. That's it. Methane here, compressing methane comes here and makes the combustion engine work, which in turn produce mechanical energy. Help me out here. P2 and relative clause. Going. So this mechanical energy, now it's not the method, going through. Now it's mechanical energy. So now the mechanical energy is after created in a combustion engine, it comes to the generator, where electrical energy is created. Out means that it's created here and it's going out, where electric energy is created in the generator, right? So I did passive voice of infinitive. We have studied this. If you forgot, go back and read that file again. Having been transferred to a generator, mechanical energy is then transformed, passed through, whatever you can use, into electric energy. Electric energy, right? Having been transferred to a generator, which means again, I'm using P1, passive form of infinitive together. I'm not using a sentence. And 9 essay, I can assure you. Having been transferred to a generator, right? Which is P1 being transferred is the form of the voice of the word to a generator, then transformed to electric energy, converted into electric energy. Not putting dot, I'm continuing my sentence, which is then, again, which is then another connector. You can use another connector, stored in a battery, which is then stored in electric energy storage. So electric energy is stored in a battery and is ready. At the last stage, the electricity is ready for home use. That's it. That's how we use all the information in the picture, and we cannot miss any information. If you can see the information, convert it to a sentence using your P1, P2 and relative clause and connectors. And don't use many sentences. Don't put dot, nokta. Put comma, virgül, and follow your sentence using P1, P2 relative clause. This is the best way to get higher score in your in your task 1 diagram essay, along with the rest of the tasks. Okay, Necə? I am not going to explain another diagram. I want you to work on it again and give it back to me just like this one. Watch this video, understand it, watch it many times, and work on the fish pile diagram, okay, and the new diagram that I sent you. Use all the information. You have to do 4 things. First, find out how many stages are there. Second, divide into passages. Third, look at the picture and examine all the additional details. Do not miss details. Okay. Fourth, use P1, P2 relative clause and connectors. And don't use too many sentences. Connect your sentences in one sentence using comma, P1, P2 and relative clause. Okay? Watch this video. If you don't understand anything, please let me know. We can work on it later. I'm just want to look at your say it's really small combustion engine started out. No additional information. Electric story you share out. This is a very good sentence, by the way. One is so good, but 2, bro, good. Okay, wish you great luck. Watch this video, and if you have any questions, just contact with me. Okay, on the other essay, just like this.